Hello and welcome to Stampscaping 101. I'm going to do a scene right here that's focusing on something that I think can really add dramatic effect to a scene. That's spotlighting. It's kind of controlling your use of shadow and darkness to really bring the viewer's attention to whatever subject matter you want them to really notice in a scene. It's something that I do kind of on all my scenes, but in this one in particular, I'll really force the issue. Okay, that's the Lakeside Cove large stamp stamped out in black, and I'm going to add in some. This is going to be done in blue, violet tones. I'm going to stamp out some imagery in so that it looks like it's under the water. Okay, I'll just get some additional texture. This is one of the new stamps, just kind of some rocks. Okay, now remember, I'm going to layer a lot of things over the top of this, so this is not how it's going to look in the end. Alright, just going from some additional texture. And this is one way to look at water, too, or anything that's kind of transparent. Instead of just using, say, the water stamp right over the top of it, which you can certainly do. Without doing anything, surface marks like this. But this is just a way to go and add some additional kind of layering and depth to a scene. This is a kind of a smaller version of those rocks. The first one I did in kind of a dark blue with various impressions. This one's I'll do in black. Okay. Something like that. Hopefully that'll add kind of a little bit of a textural richness to the scene. Alright. And let's see, I was thinking about whether I should go in and add some texture in there right now, but I think I'll wait. Oh, let's add a little bit of texture to the sky. Just a small little area up here. This is the Altocumulus cloud. Okay. And I add some of that down below. Right. A little bit of texture here and there. Something like that. Kind of looks really strange to me right now, but we have more to come. Okay. Ocean Aqua re-inker fluid. In this case, it's now called Aqua. Okay. Now, like I said, this video is kind of more about spotlighting, so I have an image that I'm going to use down here in the form of the boating fisherman. So I kind of know what size those guys are. I'm going to have them down in that little area of light. So I'm going to turn off the lights in the rest of the scene. For the most part, I might have a little bit of light here and there. But for the most part, it's going to be really directed down here. Let's see. I think I might add in another tinge of color to this scene in the form of Peach Bellini. Peach Bellini is a kind of a warm tan color. Sometimes I like to use that in addition to warm tones, just to extend the temperature range of scenes slightly. But it's very subtle, though. I mean, and this is going to be as a base color to a lot of other cool tones on top. But sometimes I find that without that little bit of warmth, that you layer on all those cool tones on top and it looks kind of strange. Okay, Salvia Blue. How about a deep lilac? I like the name Deep Lilac, but it's really, I don't find it very deep. It's kind of more just a real pale violet. Let's go on with a number 10 light blue. I find that I'm kind of struggling to, I don't know, maybe that's not the word, but yeah, to get everything in the sky really dark. My tendency is to leave some area up there kind of light, but let's really, like I said, let's really force the issue and bring the viewer's attention more down into this water area, where I'm going to stamp out those boating fishermen. Okay, let's turn the lights out up top. Okay, let's move into the pale violet. That's the same color that I stamped the Altocumulus cloud in. Let's go to the number 3 Marty, which is blue. So we have a lot of variation in here. There's a lot of colors underneath that blue. Some areas I've used certain colors more than others. You know, in other words, there's more violet in the violet tones under certain areas than others. So in some areas I'm achieving more of a straight blue tone where there's less violet underneath there. Some areas there's more violet. So you get a lot of variation when layering, when it comes to layering of tones like we're doing here. Okay, let's go to number 8, violet. It's pretty dark. My violet pad isn't too wet, so it's more of a lighter version. If you're using a really wet pad, be careful when you get into those darker tones. Okay, but this kind of drier version of drier pad, you know, I still have a lot of control over it. Okay, Prussian blue. It's a really dark one. If you ever use Prussian blue, be sure, if you ever stamp anything out with it, be sure and kind of, you know, clean off your stamp after using that blue, and also your tips, kind of just blot them off on a paper towel or something like that. I don't know what that Prussian blue is made out of, but it has a tendency of really potentially staining your rubber, which really isn't a problem. It's not going to affect the way it stamps in the future, but, you know, if you'd like to see kind of that nice pink or red rubber, you know, it's best to kind of clean it off. All right, let's go back to more of that black that we stamped out the Lakeside Cove in. Okay. This is really kind of finishing off the edges and the perimeter nicely. Four corners, bottom left, bottom right. Okay. Is that a strong spotlight there? How about some additional water texture? I'm stamping this out in the violet, which is a pretty dark color, but the background is done so dark in this case. So I'll probably switch up and add some of that in black so that we can see it. Okay. And let's go back and do some additional layering of imagery. Going back to those rocks that we stamped out down there in dark blue. Why not add some in black on top of that for texture? So you can see you can kind of go back in and reintroduce some additional imagery that we can't see anymore so well. And this is the Boating Fisherman stamp. And it has a little bit of a perimeter of tone, just like on the cloud stamps, if you want to soften that a little bit. Paper towel, dab off the edge. Use firm, even pressure. Don't squash it though. Okay. See those little boating fishermen down there. And why don't we frame those guys off a little bit. This kind of puts us as a viewer kind of on shore looking out there. Alright, and this is a very subtle area of light, so I don't want to add in too many of these little highlights because the scene is very dark, but that can kind of bring that little area to life with some additional texturing. And I've left a little bit of area of light in those trees, or on those rocks at the base of the tree. So why not just bring those little bits of rocks to life with a touch of lighting. Like you have a little break in some, maybe the last bits of light at twilight or something like that. Kind of shining in two different areas. Okay, so you have some there and right there. And that's an area of spotlighting right there. I mean, we've really forced the issue right here by darkening everything else, but you can have a nice dramatic look with that type of convention. Okay, anyways, spotlighting, first scene. I'll probably do some more of these because I really enjoy that type of look. And thanks for watching.